Hey, it's Drybear. We have the First Descendant Season 2 announcement trailer, as well as an hour-long video of the devs going through what's going into Season 2. So today I'm going to wrap up everything you need to know about what's on the horizon. The 2-minute season trailer that they released showed a bunch of new things, most notably the new Descendant Keelan, some new areas as well, some of the new mechanics and bosses and dungeons that we'll get into in a minute, as well as Ultimate Sharen all throughout the same process. There will be a new Descendant story for Sharen as she unlocks Ultimate Sharen. You will be able to go through this process. It will also include 2 cinematics instead of just one, so she'll have multiple cinematics showing for her as well. Ultimate Sharen will bring in 2 new modules, one that's focused on AoE and making her short sword go in 360 degrees instead of just forward, which is awesome, and another one that focuses primarily on stealth, which means that it will be using more of resetting stealth when you get a kill, having extended or reduced cooldowns on stealth, and extra benefits in stealth as well. There's a new locale inside of Season 2 that we are going to be invading with, is going to be the Void vessel. So inside the Void, there are these abandoned spaceships, some of them still operating, some of them still floating around in the Void, but these Void vessels are a big focus for Season 2. It is a focus of the organization named Hound that we're going to see a part of. The 2 new Descendants are part of the Hound organization, and Hound is responsible for searching these Void vessels and seizing assets or destroying enemies. So Keelan, the first Descendant we're going to see in December, along with Inez, the second Descendant we'll see in January, are part of this, and it's going to be a big focus for the season, as well as new activities, endgame content, scaling towers, and new dungeons. So we will have these Void vessels as a new location, and there will be new enemy types, new effects, and a new boss battle inside them as well. And they are trying to theme the 2 characters together as this part of this new organization that's focused on it, and it's going to be a big focus for the season, so we'll probably see some thematic icons coming from this, and I think Inez, they said, is always also going to be part of the story for this, even though she's not available as a Descendant immediately on the launch of Season 2. And from this, we've confirmed that the Keelan Descendant is a toxic Descendant, and Inez is an electric Descendant focused more on AoE, so she might be just more of a bunny style character. Now, they didn't give any specifics around Inez and what her abilities are, but they talked a little bit about who Keelan is going to be and his ability set. His primary claim to fame is this dash that he has, which is, again, a toxic element. He will be able to dash through targets, so he'll ignore enemy collision while dashing, and while he hits enemies with his abilities and his dash, he will build up a debuff called Acidic Decay that will increase the damage of his abilities to that target. So it looks like he'll have some good AoE toxic spread, and possibly he'll be able to build that up on a single target to do even more burst damage as well to that single target for boss damage. But it looks like he's gonna be more of an airborne / mobile based toxic character, which is a very big 180 from Freyna, who lets her abilities spread around, and we'll have that combining well with more debuffs and toxic spreading. There will also be new enemy types, as well as a brand new Legion boss that they're calling the Dread Armor, which actually will have stages. So we'll have a commander level boss, this guy right here, that will be able to transfer between stages. He has different weapons in each stage. His shield will transform. He'll get different rifles and weapons and pistols and miniguns that he can use, and it's all part of the process of defeating him as a new boss. They also revealed Ultimate Sharen, which I wasn't too impressed with. It kind of reminds me of a mix of Ultimate Valby and Ultimate Viessa, but they showed off what she looks like, and they also showed off the ultimate skin that'll be coming along with it. So the footage for Ultimate Sharen is pretty straightforward. She just flips forward. It's only a couple seconds in the individual trailer, but this is what Ultimate Sharen looks like by default. There's some new things coming soon that I'll talk about around the ultimate skins and default skins, but this is the default Ultimate Sharen. And they also showed off the Ultimate Sharen skin, which I think is awesome. I was worried it's going to be like kind of the skins we've been getting so far, but it feels like it's very different from the style they've been showing, and I personally love it. I'll probably be picking this one up for Sharen. She's easily one of my favorite characters, and I think the skin fits her pretty well. So on the left is Ultimate Sharen, on the right is the Ultimate Sharen skin that will be coming along with it. There are also 2 new weapons coming to the launch of Season 2 on December 5th. The one you see on screen is the same weapon. Above and below is the default weapon and the skin that comes along with it, and there's also a new Battle Pass weapon as well. This weapon is called Hammer and Anvil. It is a shotgun that we'll be able to pick up as part of the exploration of the season, and it has 2 firing modes. The Hammer version is a widespread shotgun burst, and the Anvil version, which will switch firing modes on it, will shoot a slug that will travel forward and then explode in a shotgun blast. So you'll be able to shoot that at a distance and deal shotgun a little bit further away. And it also fires 2 slugs in a row, which means that you'll have 2 different ways to use the weapon. And hopefully all of that plays really well into making it a flexible weapon. Now, it doesn't really address the special ammo or the high power ammo issue in the game, which means that most of the time, pretty much only like Enzo and Glay have an easy time using special round weapons unless they're using them very infrequently. So hopefully we see some adjustments to that. They didn't mention it in this stream, but there might be some coming. The other weapon is called Voltia, which is, I think, is Bunny's last name. And it basically takes Bunny's ultimate, the channeled beam without modification, and creates a beam rifle out of it. And this weapon is going to be the Battle Pass weapon. It is a beam rifle coming into the game, and it has a unique effect in that it has the ability to interact with the new Void Vessel encounters in a way that no other weapon can. The new shields in the Void Vessels require skill damage to destroy them, but the Voltia can circumvent that by dealing damage directly to the shield, and it is an option for a new beam rifle. Hopefully it does great damage. Up next is the new companion system, which they are dubbing Fellows. It will start out with this German Shepherd style dog, and they're going to have a whole bunch of different dogs that you can pick up. They didn't mention how you acquire them or how you get them, whether they're going to be purchased in a store or earned and unlocked. Hopefully you get at least one of them for free, and that's part of the game. But they come with a whole bunch of really cool gameplay focused elements that make them very nice additions to the game. Firstly, Fellows will follow you around in combat, out of combat, that sort of thing. They will have unique interactions and animations that you can use, which means that you can pet them, high five them. They've talked about a whole bunch of different bonding animations you can do with your fellow. But gameplay wise, they will go around and collect items from you that are on the ground. So they'll go collect everything to make sure that those are all collected for you. They will also come with an auto dismantle feature. So everything that they pick up, they can auto dismantle based on your filter options. So whatever your filter is set to, they will automatically dismantle the things that they pick up, which is awesome. And they will also come with a small, we don't know how small, but they mentioned that there will be a buff to the module drop rate while you have your fellow out, which means that if you're trying to target farm a module drop in a specific area, your fellow is going to be there hanging out with you, looting for you, automatically dismantling for you, and increasing your odds of collecting modules. They've also confirmed that the fellows will have their own customization system. So they will have 4 parts to them. They will have the fur, there will be back attachments, torso attachments, and the head attachments, which means you can change the fur, like the actual dog underneath, and you can change what comes with the dog, and you can color those and mess with those as well to customize your own fellow. Now, a lot of people have asked about other animals like cats or anything like that. I'm sure over time they will add more, but as far as the stream that they've shown so far, it has just been this German Shepherd with additional attachments and colorations to the fur that come along with it, and then the gameplay implications as well. Next up in Season 2, they will be introducing a new form of intercept called Void Abyss. We have Void Intercept, but Void Abyss is going to be built more on build-specific interactions. So there's going to be modifications to the existing like ultimates, these colossi. They will have a different look to them, and they will have different mechanics. They will also have the ability to regenerate parts, and they will be more focused on individual skill rather than team group play. So while the Void Intercept colossi battles are definitely about doing the mechanics properly, lining up the beams for Molten Fortress, making sure that you're doing the bubbles for Gluttony, making sure you're doing all the proper mechanics for Deathstalker, these Void Abyss fights are going to be more about having the right build with the right defenses and the right weapons and skills to defeat the boss. They will also be more focused on part destruction. So you destroy a part, but these bosses can also regenerate parts, which means that you're going to be paying more attention to that over time. It's not like you break the part once and you're done. So it's going to be more focused on that. They've mentioned this one is much less focused on team play and more focused on individual skill and individual build. But I think it also mentioned that they will be doing like group play group play primarily for these. These will also come with their own unique skin rewards that will be universal across all characters. So these are the skins that you see on screen. These will be unlocked by completing the Void Abyss, and they will be unlocked for male and female Descendants. And they also mentioned that these will be available across all Descendants as well. You won't have to get multiples of these for multiple different characters. So they said they like these being a little bit goofier. Some of these are pretty goofy to me as well. These are obviously the concepts, not the final models, but it definitely feels like it's quite different than the style of things that we've seen in game game so far. They also mentioned that they will be doing updates at the start of the season and throughout the season on the infiltration operations. They said they'll be making changes to the layouts and also adding higher level, more difficult enemies to the operations as well. And I think this is irrespective of the difficulty scaling on those. They just want to make sure that those feel fresh and new as they go throughout the season. We are also finally getting a pity system. So there's two new mechanics coming into the game that will serve as bad luck protection. So the first one is that there's going to be this pity system, which they are calling the focus strategy system. You'll be able to have these items that you're trying to farm, and you'll have a bar that you will be able to fill up. Every time you do activities that is trying to drop that item and it fails to drop that item, the bar will fill. And eventually, if the bar fills up all the way, then you will just get the item. So it's bad luck protection. It's a pity system on these individual drops, which will make it a little bit easier to target farm. So like there's a theoretical limit to how many times you will have to farm something before you get that drop, so that you're not super unlucky and you have to open 100 amorphous materials to get that one secret garden piece or whatever it is you're looking for. Additionally, they will be adding high shape stabilizers, which are just enhanced versions of the shape stabilizers. What these will do is, instead of making small adjustments to the drop rates of the higher drop rate items and lower drop rate items, it's just going to outright swap them. So the first two in that amorphous, which are normally like 30 or 30+%, they will drop down to 6%, and the ones at the end that are normally like 6% will go up to 30%. This is going to be nice because it will be a better version of shape stabilizers. I almost wish that it would drop at least the first two to 0 so they couldn't drop at all, because there's definitely situations where you use the shape stabilizer and you still don't get anything worthwhile out of it, which effectively renders the shape stabilizer as useless in that case. But it at least is going to be a better version of the base ones, which will give you more control over the loot you're trying to get. Next, there are some major improvements coming to the customization system that are worth talking about. Firstly, you will be able to swap and use defaults from both the normal and the ultimate Descendant version. So if you wanted to use normal Freyna head on the ultimate Freyna body, or you wanted to use the ultimate Freyna head on the normal default Freyna body, you can. They've also mentioned that they're going to be making a separate head item for specifically just Freyna, but if you wanted that gray ponytail, that will be unlocked as well. They've also made it so that you can dye the default. So if you wanted to dye the default ultimate, you can. If you wanted to dye the default character, you can. You can even dye the hair as well, like hair dyes, body paint, all of that will be applicable and swappable between the default skins, which has been a huge requested feature for a long time. Another huge win is they have confirmed that in Season 2, you will be able to apply paint and dyes to your back attachments as well. So if you wanted to have that perfect skin look with the back attachment that matches, but you've dyed the skin, you'll be able to dye the back attachment as well. And they've also extended this to firearms too. So your weapons, your back attachments, your default skins, and purchase skins can all be dyed and painted in the new system. Next is the new endgame activity, Void Erosion Control. So Hound is an organization that was started to investigate the void vessels floating around in the void. Their job is to attack, seize, and destroy any threats inside the void. And there's going to be a new endgame activity called Void Erosion Control. This is effectively a difficulty scaling tower that you will climb. They mentioned that they are aiming at 30 different levels that will go up in difficulty every time you go up a level, with increasing rewards all along the way. So it might start at relatively easy, and by level 20, level 25, level 30, it starts getting incredibly difficult. So between the void vessels, the void erosion control, and the new void abyss for the colossi, there's going to be a bunch of new endgame activities and challenges for you to try out your builds on to see what you can complete. They also talked about a new core system for weapons. Not only are they increasing the weapon enhancements, the reactor enhancements are going up to level 5, they're adding a new weapon core system to the weapons. And what this will be is that will be 5 unique core slots on a weapon. So aside from upgrading the ultimate ability on the weapon, there's also going to be these slots that you can slot in items into the weapon to improve it in various ways, and supposedly you can choose how you go about doing that. They didn't give us any examples of what these cores are going to be. Like, is it going to improve fire rate? Is it going to change the core stats of the weapon? Is it going to add something to it that the weapon currently doesn't have? We're not sure, but it will be a new way for you to customize not only your weapons modules, but also the core implants on your weapon to make your weapon even more unique and fit your playstyle. And lastly, they gave a side note about the inversion system, which is the seasonal borrowed power for season 2. They mentioned that the inversion reinforcement system is returning in season 2. They're going to nix most of the powers that no one liked or didn't use. They will be bringing back some of the powers that people really liked and used and were quite popular, and they'll be adding a bunch of new powers. They're also going to make it easier to unlock the powers, and you still will be able to do the the little cells collection in the open fields. You can go into the open field in the areas, fight those, get your inversion cells, and improve your inversion reinforcement that way. But they mentioned that the inversion system is still going to be there for season 2. It's going to reset with new powers and be a little bit easier to progress. Next, let's talk about the new content, like skins, cosmetics wise, because I know a lot of people care about that. What you see on screen is, personally for me, what seems like the worst evolving skin we've seen to date, but they mentioned that this is an evolving skin for Valby that will be the new evolving skin for her. I was at first thinking this was just like a show off of the painting system, but I guess this is 3 different versions of an evolving skin for Valby. They look incredibly similar to me. I don't know what they look like to you. I can see some of them have different patterns and different placements, but they are quite similar in the different stages. So I guess we'll have to see what it looks like in game. Hopefully it's not this simple or this similar once we get it, but there's a new evolving skin for our dear Valby coming into the game. Next, there will be a bunch of new skins coming online as well. You have Sharen on the far left with the M. Bison hat. You have Cop Bunny. The Viessa is the 3rd one. You have Haley as the 4th one, and I believe it's Lepic, Enzo, and Esiamo in that order as well, going down the line on the end. Some brand new skins coming in. Hopefully these look really cool to you. These will be available, I believe, on the first day in the new store. So a store reswap of all the content coming in with everything else, and will be some new skins that you might be able to recolor and also be able to mix and match with the default skins as well. They also did confirm that both Haley and Sharen are going to get the schoolgirl skins and the maid skins as an option. They mentioned that those skins will not return, but those 2 characters didn't have them originally, so it's very possible that only those versions will appear in the store, not the other ones for Bunny, Valby, etc. So those will be options as part of the store as well. Next are the reward skins. So you have the new Void Abyss reward skins, the first 4, and there will also be new reward skins on the right side. So you have that white kind of tech wear skin, and then you have the Squid Game style skin, like jumpsuit, runner suit, track suit that you have on the right side as well. And these are all supposedly going to be reward skins, so that skins that you'll get by doing activities, unlocking things, that sort of thing. So these skins will also be available as part of the season 2 update. They also mentioned that there will be Christmas skins in the initial update for this. So there will be some Christmas skins for, pictured here is Haley, Valby, and Bunny. There might be more available. They mentioned a lot of the female skins will be shared across all characters, and male skins will be shared across all characters, but at least these 3 will be getting these kind of like sexy elf kind of Christmas skins as available. And they mentioned that in the second update, which is set for January 16th, so an update in December and an update in January, there will be Lunar New Year skins as well, which they only showed the concept of, but overall I think these look great. Hopefully there are some for male as well, maybe something option there, but this is like Lunar New Year is a big option for or a big celebrated moment for Korea, so that's some pretty cool skins. You know, like the Chun-Li style and some of the I don't know the name of the traditional wear, but the traditional wear they have for that as part of that experience. So we'll have this though. So we have the Christmas skins in December, and then January 16th they've mentioned the Lunar New Year skins are coming online. They also mentioned that all of the previous Ultimate only bundle skins will be returning to the store as individual sales, and I believe they're also going to be doing it with the attachments and the effects as well. This was another major request from people that they really liked, like the teleport from one, or the back attachment from another, or they just wanted the skin from one, and instead of being locked behind the Ultimate bundle, they mentioned that all of these are going to be returning to the store as unlocks that you can just purchase individually for those characters without having to buy the bundle. And to close out, we got ourselves a roadmap, which doesn't go too far out, but it does show the 2 patches that we just talked about. So we have December, which is slated for December 5th. This will include the Void Vessel and the main story, so the seasonal event, the Void Abyss, that is the new encounter with the modified Colossi, the new weapons, the pity system that we talked about, the better shape stabilizers, the high shape stabilizers, random matchmaking for infiltration, improvement to outposts, and the hard version of the special operations that you can fight with as well. Weapon balance, the new weapons, the battle pass, the fellow companion system, the new Descendant Keelan, the ultimate Sharen bundle, the changes to customization, and all the new skins as well. All of that will be in the initial launch for the December 5th Season 2 launch for TFD. Then coming in January is going to be Ingris, the new Descendant, the new, more variants, I guess, for the Void Abyss, the weapon core socketing system, and the Void Erosion control. So the scaling tower and the socketing system for weapons is not going to be in the initial update, and then this will also include the Lunar New Year skins. And then in February, they're talking about having hot spring themed skins, Valentine's Day themed skins, which, holy God, that's going to be a whole experience, and then no new content as well to talk about as part of that. So again, they're talking about December 5th for Season 2 launch with everything on the left side of the screen, and then January 16th is the date that they gave us during this. And they also mentioned they'll be doing another broadcast before the launch of Season 2 to show more gameplay, more in-game, in-engine footage of everything they've talked about with some new updates as well. But that is the update for this. Hopefully I did this as fast as I could to keep everything as concise as possible, but there was a lot to go over. Let me know what your favorite part of the Season 2 announcements are down below. If you found value in today's video, leave a like down below, leave a comment for the algorithm to help this video get seen by more people, and don't forget to check out my other channels for other content and other stuff and other things.